9 bad habits that keep you poor, and realistic ways to break them. This is part 1 of a 2-part series. To view part 2 of this video, the link to this video is down below in the description box. Let's begin. Being poor entails more than simply not having any money. It could also imply a lack of happiness, love, or health. A person's constant lack of money or these other necessities of a comfortable life is never an accident, rather, it is the result of factors rooted in behavior and habits. Our actions in life create a chain of events that eventually lead us to where we are, whether in favorable or unfavorable circumstances. Habits are difficult to identify and break because they are things we do without even realizing it. It is the process of making our brains more efficient by automating certain functions. However, if these habits are harmful, they will eventually result in situations and experiences that are similar to them. This is why I've decided to make a YouTube video about these habits, which I became aware of in my own life, only after witnessing them in others. Number 1. Ignoring the ramifications of your actions. Have you ever been in a disagreement with someone and being convinced that you are correct and they are incorrect? Of course, the problem with this is that the other person believes you are mistaken. Clearly, one or both of you must be mistaken, but no one wants to admit it. Or perhaps you started blaming or pleading with others to wake you up because you were running late for work. The first person you should look in the mirror at when something goes wrong in your life is yourself. If you are an employee and your team performs poorly on a project, before criticizing your team, you should first assess whether you truly gave the job your best effort. While many people are quick to point out the errors of others, it is often difficult for them to see their own. Because of their fragile egos, they can blame but find it difficult to accept responsibility. Don't act like that. You can't start changing something if you can't see what went wrong. If you are unwilling to accept responsibility for your actions, even if someone came to you and pointed out what you could have done better, you will become defensive and fight them. Remember that accepting responsibility does not imply disliking yourself. No. Furthermore, if you accept responsibility in order to blame yourself, you are still acting as a victim and harboring toxic emotions such as self-pity or low self-esteem. Accepting responsibility means you agree to look for ways to handle that specific activity more effectively in the future. Here is the solution. Never waste time attempting to persuade someone that you are correct while fighting with them because they appear to believe you are incorrect. Apologize even if you have no idea how you could have been mistaken. You may feel some emotional pain after the apology is over. This prevents your ego from having to admit that it was mistaken. By upsetting your ego, an apology will make you wonder what you could have done better. At this point, you may feel the need to go back and clarify something. It's known as feeding your ego. Spend less time nourishing your ego. Simply swallow your pride and look for solutions. Consider how you could have handled the situation differently. You will also be able to make resolutions that you can easily keep the next time something similar happens. Consider what you could have done differently in each scenario that you consider to be problematic in your life. Other individuals should not be included. It's you and only you. Number 2. Devoting more effort to others than to oneself. Most people are more motivated to work diligently when working on projects for others than when working on their own projects. People devote a significant amount of time and effort to their professions, but only about 30 minutes per day to their side businesses, 20 of which are spent on social media. People become more invested when a second party is involved, and this habit may trap you in poverty. If you can't work more than an hour a day on your business but are willing to take a job that requires you to work 10 hours a day, you're developing a bad habit that could make or keep you poor. There are limits to how much money you can make while working, for example, if money is your goal. You do, however, have the freedom to decide how big and how much money you want to invest in your own business. You should understand that if you are working hard on someone else's job, it should be work that is assisting you in developing a skill that will increase your market value. It is acceptable if you do not mind sacrificing your time for a little bit of financial stability in your life. If your job entails punching and stapling documents and you put in a lot of effort, but you don't work on other projects, such as side businesses, you may face financial difficulties once your position is replaced. Here is the solution. You should devote the same amount of time and effort to your side business, working on them at least an hour per day. This will help you develop important skills that you can apply in the workplace. Having a diverse set of skills has numerous benefits, including making you more interesting, fostering meaningful relationships, and improving your health. Read a book, take a class, try a new activity, meet new people, learn about other cultures, and take on new challenges that will help you grow positively. Participate in activities that interest you while also advancing your professional development. For example, I enjoy designing websites because the process of creating one is fascinating to me. I'm obsessed with code, themes, and novel ways to build websites. I have a peculiar but genuinely fascinating hobby, and all of the client work I do for the web design industry pays well. Number 3. Failure to improve your routines. Nobody among us is perfect at anything. There will always be someone who is superior or inferior to you. We all have to start somewhere, in order to learn anything, including creating habits. You are well aware that nothing we begin with is ever at its best. Employees in a job like product development will undoubtedly strive to create a better version of the product as they gain knowledge from the previous one. The first functional product is a minimal viable product. They create improved versions of the product and iterate on it from there. Consider the evolution of the iPhone, for example. However, when it comes to habits, people almost never do this. They will not change their ways. When you don't try to change your behaviors, you start missing out on the most important steps you need to take to progress. If you do not improve your habits, you are setting yourself up for failure. For example, if you frequently find yourself stuck in rush hour traffic, you may need to get up a little earlier than usual rather than accepting that you have no control over the situation. Even though this is a simple example, you should use it as motivation to improve your habits, particularly those that do not benefit you. Tips for improving your routines. Make a list of all the challenges you face at work on a daily basis. Consider any changes you could make to your routine to reduce or eliminate the problems. For example, I am aware that my sister sleeps a lot, making it difficult for the two of us to leave for work if she is late due to a traffic jam. As a result, I get up at 3 a.m. because I know she won't get up until I've finished my shower. As a result of this, she wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, giving us enough time to get to work by 6. In fact, because I despise traffic, I try to arrive at work early. It has also significantly increased my output. You don't have to get up at 3 a.m., like I do, but you can work on areas of your life that need improvement and figure out how to optimize your routines to do so. Number 4. Ineffective financial management. I consider spending more than I earn to be poor money management. Yes, I understand that many people have families to support and bills to pay, but I'm confident you can do it all while maintaining your standard of living with a 10% spending cut. If you consistently have debt to pay off when your income or other payments arrive, leaving you with nothing once the money arrives, you must find ways to reduce some of your spending. In George Samuel Classen's short book The Richest Man in Babylon gave me more control over how I handle money. The author of this book taught me the fundamentals of personal finance. All I had to do was follow the instructions, which vastly improved my money management skills. As a result, I now have money on a consistent basis and live a life free of financial stress. This allows me to better organize my days and focus on the things that are important to me without having to worry about how I'm going to pay my bills. I recommend reading that book if you want to learn how to manage your money better. Tony Robbins' Money, Master the Game is another that goes into greater detail. As you work to become a better version of yourself, click here to see the video that you might find entertaining. As soon as I upload a new video, you can be notified by subscribing to the channel and pressing the notification bell. Leave a comment below outlining any other bad habits that will keep you poor, to help this community flourish. The link to part 2 of this video is down below in the description box. Thank you for taking the time to watch Under Construction.